The next call is a split call. Marama Davidson, 5 minutes.
Mr Speaker, thank you very much. As my colleague Jane Logie said, we will not be supporting, the Green Party will not support the Children, Young Persons and Their Families legislation, and I struggle to call it the full title, which includes the te reo words Oranga Tamariki, because it just does not fit, and submitters told us so as well. Mr Speaker, in the second reading, I too recall that it is 61% of tamariki in the care of the state are Māori, and so for that reason this is incredibly important to Māori communities, what is being proposed in this legislation. I want to go particularly into the guise of using the phrase which sounds very popular and very heartfelt, which says this is about putting children first. And if we recall my colleague Lewis War alone reminding us that search as hard as you like through the bill and we will not find the priority for tamariki to be placed with whānau hapu Māori, iwi Māori, that aside, even with the fact that that priority is not in this legislation, and that is the core of some of the big opposition from the Green Party to this bill, we can just go back to the Minister's opening address on the second reading, where she herself continues to use children first as the exploitative excuse for failing to keep that priority of placing tamariki Māori with whānau Māori. That's what she continues to use. That feeds a racist narrative. That feeds a racist narrative that undermines the care that Māori whānau have always sought to uphold the well-being of tamariki. It feeds a narrative where the failure of social workers, where the failure of the system to provide support to ensure that everything is being done to find those available safe whānau Māori is being done. And so I really wanted to address those particular points. And it flies in the face of the state's own history of abusing tamariki Māori. Generations of it, right back to the time when my own grandmother was physically and psychologically beaten for speaking her own language. The state has generations, hundreds of years of experience of abusing tamariki Māori in its care. And there is no other word for that except systemic racism. So, with that, we should know then that this guise of children first is a continuation of that racist attitude which says Māori children are better placed by the state. We have been doing that here and around the world to Indigenous children for hundreds of years. So, Mr Speaker, it's very important that I wanted to address that particular notion of this legislation. The submissions were very clear to us that there is no excuse for undermining the ability for Māori as a solution to providing good, safe care for tamariki Māori. One of the submitters, I want to go to Paula Crawford-Moyle, who herself says that the heart of the problem is we are trying to fix a practice failure with a legislative solution, and that is not going to do it. What needs to be instead addressed is the institutional racism. And that is what we should be looking at alongside the strength-based approaches and steps that would see whāngai, a cultural approach of Māori for decades, for generations, as a strength. Whāngai, the ability for other whānau Māori to step up and care for other children, which we have been doing forever, as a core part of addressing the well-being of tamariki. Mr Speaker, there's an opportunity there if we stop being culturally incompetent in this House. There's an opportunity to draw on a strength practice that has shown to be still used today in a modern context and has been used for generations, is where our opportunity lies. So, Mr Speaker, I wanted to stand up and say Māori have the answers to the solutions, to the problems and the solutions, and we need to be worked with in proper partnership. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Pini hina rei, tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe te māngai o te whare. First of all, sir,